Today is officially the biggest day of my life. What's up guys, it's McKeown back again with another video. If you haven't been following me, I officially closed on my first commercial property today. What I'm gonna be doing for you guys today is walking you through the property, giving you an idea of what the intent with this property is, and how I'm able to house hack a actual commercial property. So first things first, and I'm sure everyone wants to know this, how was I able to purchase my first commercial property and what are the numbers? Well, first things first, I wound up selling my fourplex. If you haven't been following my journey, I purchased a fourplex back in 2019 with my VA loan. You could easily purchase a fourplex with a conventional loan or an FHA loan, or indeed just like myself with a VA loan. I occupied it for about a year before I moved on and turned it fully into an investment property. Well, a little over 2 years later, I wound up selling the property, profiting enough on the property to use that as a 1031 exchange to roll it into this particular commercial investment. Now the numbers real quick, and I'm gonna break these down to you probably in a little bit more detail once we get everything finished here, but the numbers on this property were $1,050,000. I wound up getting a rehab budget of about $150,000. So all in all, I'm gonna be in for about $1.2 million, and I'm taking a loan out for $980,000. Now it did appraise about $75,000 over prior to rehab, and post rehab it appraised for an additional $75,000 over the value that I purchased it for. So I'm sitting at about $150,000 in equity, plus the $200,000+ that I put down from the return and the 1031 exchange for my fourplex. And again, the fourplex was purchased with my VA loan, so I put very little to nothing down. So really what I'm doing is I'm rolling in the equity from the fourplex, gaining a little bit of equity from purchasing this property and remodeling it. And all in all, I'm gonna be sitting at about $350,000, close to $400,000 in equity. I'm gonna own my first commercial property, and I'm gonna be house hacking it, meaning I have two other tenants on the other side that are gonna be helping me pay my mortgage every single month. Now, when it comes to commercial properties, it's different than single units or 2 to 4 units. 1 to 4 units, you can calculate a little bit differently, and typically you don't use cap rates. Well, I'm still not gonna use cap rates here with this commercial property, and I'll explain why. So this property itself, I'm actually going to be occupying half of it. So again, it goes back to like when I purchased my primary residence, I actually spent a little bit more money than I wanted to, and the return wasn't great because the fact that I was spending so much money on it, but I was able to subsidize the price of my primary residence, building it custom by having a roommate as well as an Airbnb suite. This is an exact example of that. I'm walking in here with $150,000 in equity, plus the money from my 1031 exchange, and the two tenants on the other side of this 4-unit commercial space are actually paying me $4,500 a month. Now that $4,500 a month is, to be honest with you, a little low. They are in a little bit longer term leases. One of them ends in about 1.5 years, and the other one ends in about 1.5 years, but it has the option to continue if they pay market rent. There's a couple things I can do with those two tenants, as well as potentially them moving out. I'm gonna be moving them to triple net leases and getting the opportunity to increase that as well. And I also believe with our industry kind of coming back to reality here, there's gonna be a lot more desire to get back in the office. So really I have 3 tenants at the end of the day. I've got 2 tenants, plus I've got my real estate company. Now my real estate company is actually going to be paying a separate entity or separate LLC, which is my personal rental property LLC. So truly I have 3 tenants in here. Now when all is said and done, my mortgage is gonna be about $9,000. So the 2 tenants on the other side have paid and will continue to pay about half my mortgage. Now my real estate company is going to be paying, again, my separate entity about $4,500 a month. Now currently I'm spending about $1,500 in a commercial space that's my friend's. It's a very small office. So if you deduct that, this is really only about a $3,000 more a month expense for me and my business. And me and my business is gonna have about 2,000 more square feet, maybe 2,100 more square feet than I currently have to build and grow. Now the fun part, guys, I'm gonna walk you through. This is the front door. We technically have 2 front doors. Right off the entry is the only space that's not going to be changed. Again, I mentioned the fact that I'm gonna be spending $150,000 remodeling this entire space. So stay tuned, you're gonna see a huge transformation here. But this, as far as dimensions, is going to remain the same. Now this is gonna be my actual conference room for my ever-growing team. You can actually see a structural wall here Initially, this was two separate office spaces. So here and to the right was about 1,150 square feet. Here to the left was about 1,150 square feet, and you'll see that while we walk around, the fact that this current owner that was occupying these two units decided to take both units because he needed a little bit more space. Again, a huge conference room. My intent is to get 2 TVs put up here on both sides so I can have a ton of my agents as well as supporting staff in here once a week for the team day that we have, as well as the opportunity to have agents in here really to collaborate maybe with a lender or meet with a client, so on and so forth. So dimension-wise, this is going to stay the same. But as we walk out here, and as I walk you through the rest of the property, you're gonna see the fact that there's a ton of walls. Well, this was an attorney's office. An attorney's office needs to be very private. You need to be able to walk into their office, close the door, and speak with them regarding your issue. Well, first things first, this wall is going down. And I can tell you, as we walk through, a lot of the walls are gonna be torn down. Bathroom right off the entry here, we are gonna give it a facelift, but as far as dimensions, that's gonna stay the same. Also as well, this closet right here, gonna stay the same, but the wall continues all the way through the hallway. I can tell you right now, that's gonna be gone. Upon the entry, you're gonna have a nice little sitting area, a greeting area, and it's gonna feel completely open once you open the door. This again right here, very dated, little washing hands area, coffee maker area. This entire place is going to be demoed as well, basically from the start of the bathroom here. And this is going to allow the person that walks in to be able to see all the way through the back of the building. Now, again, walking through again, you have more walls. This again is going to be torn down. The intent here is to have this whole space, as well as a little bit more I'm gonna show you in a second, available for all the agents to really collaborate, come in and work out of the office. Now, caveat here, we are gonna get rid of all of the cabinetry here. I'm actually going to try to see if I can use this for one of my rental properties, as well as a couple other items in this commercial space. But flipping around here, guys, again, this wall is going to be completely demoed. Right now, it's an office space in here, but this is gonna turn into a little sitting area, a TV, a desk with an assistant can greet individuals that come in. Now heading to the next room, this is actually going to be the business manager that I'm looking to hire, as well as my current TC and assistant. TC in the realm of real estate is transaction coordinator. They're gonna be able to work together in this large space. But again, you see the color, you see the walls. This whole wall right here, as well as the wall behind you guys, is gonna be all new glass walls. So they're going to be able to see out into the agent's co-working space to be able to monitor agents, as well as the fact that this entire wall right here is gonna be all glass with the opportunity to be able to see who comes in and out of the office. Now, the glass walls will also make it incredibly modern, and the colors that I'm gonna be electing to use will definitely spruce up the space way more than it is now. And honestly, I don't think this place has been touched too much since really the 90s. So again, guys, walking out, this wall will be gone. All of this will be co-working space for the agents on my team. I'm looking and hopefully going to grow a team between 12 to 15 agents. Now, this is actually a little bit of a flex space. This wall right here, though, is going to be demoed, just this corner wall. Okay, this is gonna, again, open it up a little bit more towards the front, gonna get rid of this cabinetry, give it a little bit more space, and this wall behind me is also going to be opened up. Now behind this wall, and I'll show you guys in a second, is the kitchen area. But the beauty is you're gonna have the existing wall on the other side of this that's going to really cover up the kitchen from individuals that walk straight into my office. Also, guys, you can see right here is a supporting wall. Okay, this supporting wall actually was the divider from one unit to the other unit. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this used to be 1,150 square feet and was sliced right down the middle. And this was a mirror image of the other side, 1,150 square feet, couple offices. But again, the attorney and the individual that I purchased this from decided to make this entire space for him. And it's actually going to benefit me because it gives me the opportunity to have about 2,300 square feet rather than a very small 1,100, 1,200 square foot office space. So now the fun part is my office. My office is going to be all glass walls right here, so I'm able to then turn around and see all of the agents working in their co-working space. And with my office here as well, it's gonna be plenty of space for me to do what I need to do. To be honest with you, I'm working out of a small office space with the entire team right now, so to have my own personal space, it will be nice. Now, there's going to be some changes here. I need to actually meet with an architect to determine dimensions, and this is something that I've actually wanted to do for quite some time. I get a kick out of it from everyone I mentioned it to, but as far as what I do as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as someone that loves what I do, I wake up incredibly early. Because I wake up so early, I get tired midway through the day. Most of the time I leave the office at 1 or 2, go take an hour nap, and then start day 2. Well, I'm gonna actually create what I call a nap room, where I can go outside of my office, through the hallway here, into this door, which again, dimensions may have to change here, but I'm gonna want to walk in here, and it's gonna be a very small and narrow room, but it's gonna have a twin bed that's gonna be able to fold down from the wall. I can crash, it'll be pitch dark, take an hour nap, not have to go all the way home, and then get back to work midway through the day. Now, the next part may be one of my favorite additions to what we're gonna be doing here, as well as an opportunity for you guys to even get better content than I've been putting out. So this right now is just a normal office, okay? Nothing special about it. And if you continue further down the hallway, you actually get what looks to be kind of an entry room. It wasn't utilized by the prior owner, and there is an exterior door here. Now, this exterior door, again, was for the 3rd office, and the actual entry we came in would have been the 4th office, but again, because they're combined, we now have 2 exterior doors. This is going to be actually closed off. Now, the intent here is to probably create a large filming and editing studio. So with that, this wall is gonna be gone. We're gonna have a long editing filming studio with one side for filming, whether that be TikTok, whether that be Instagram, Facebook, or again, for you guys on YouTube. This will allow my editor and videographer to be in-house entirely rather than working from home or having to edit on the road. This will keep them in office and allow us to make a ton more content. Now, the last thing to show you guys, as I mentioned earlier, turning this around, is the kitchen space. Now, the kitchen space is going to have this wall kept. I feel like this is honestly the only wall that's going to be kept in here. But this one is the backside wall with the cabinets. That will be busted out, so individuals can just come straight into the kitchen, or the agents on the team can come straight into the kitchen. But by keeping this wall, we're gonna keep it a little bit private from individuals that just walk into the office and wanna meet their agents, or wanna meet me personally, or just speak to someone. Now, the beauty of this is the fact that I'm going to have a ton of before and after footage. I'm excited for this to be completed in a couple months. I've already hired a contractor. We're meeting this week for a deposit, and the deposit's going to likely start work in a couple weeks. So as far as timeline, I wound up closing a week or 2 early, and the owner was intentionally staying for another 30 days post-closing, but that didn't happen. He, as you can see, has already moved out. So we're expediting this process almost by a month and a half, and my hope is by mid-April to the start of May, my office will be officially complete. Now, to finish off this tour, on the other side, we do have a mirror-imaged bathroom here. Again, dimensions here are not going to be changed. The only thing that's going to be changed here is it's going to get a facelift. And on the other side, we walk right back into the large conference room. Now, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned to you guys this being the biggest day of my life. This is a $1.3 million purchase, and if you haven't followed my journey, I was a high school teacher making $50,000 a year in the year of 2017. I moved to Dallas, decided to get my real estate license, and I've built my company up to the point of where I'm able to purchase a $1.3 million commercial property. Now, I couldn't have done this without the struggles and the sacrifices that I've made in the last 4 to 5 years. I've lived in some rough properties. I've lived in some rough areas. I've given up a lot myself as far as freedom and availability to have a social life. And because of that, I don't really utilize the term sacrifice anymore. I use the word investment. The last 4 to 5 years have been a huge investment on my behalf, just in life together. And it's allowed me to be able to purchase this property that honestly is going to change my life. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. I really do appreciate it. I have huge goals when it comes to building my YouTube channel, and with the filming and editing studio, it's just going to be the start of being able to provide you guys with more content. I initially started my YouTube channel with the intent to grow and just educate other people with the opportunity that real estate can give you. Because as you can tell, real estate in the last 4 to 5 years has absolutely flipped my life upside down. and in an absolutely incredible way. My hope is with my YouTube content and videos that I put out for you guys that I can actually connect you with someone locally or be able to motivate and push you guys to be able to obtain even just something in the world of real estate. A lot of people, get so carried up in the life that they are in that they never get where they want to get. Now, the intent with my videos is to be able to educate you, motivate you, and push you to get where you want to get in life. So thanks again for all the support. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help. And stay tuned for the next video. There's going to be a ton on this commercial property.